Now let's look at the climate of Nigeria. Nigeria has a climate, a characteristic climate. Now, climate here refers to the average atmospheric condition of an area over a long period of time. And there are elements of climate, and these include temperature, wind, rainfall, etc. Now, let's look at temperature. Nigeria does not have a uniform temperature. That means the temperature of Nigeria varies from place to place. And this is usually with respect to the altitude and season. For example, if we say that temperature is lower in the south due to the cooling effect of the Atlantic Ocean, but it is higher in the north due to the distance from the ocean. Wind. This is air in motion. We talked about this previously. Now there are 4 types of wind operating here in Nigeria. One is the tropical maritime air mass, which is also known as the southwest trade wind. The southwest trade wind. This wind is responsible for rainy season. It usually begins around March and ends sometime around October in the year. And it has a very short period in August, which is called the August break. Now, the second wind is the tropical continental air mass, also known as northeast trade wind. The northeast trade wind. This wind is responsible for dry season, and it starts from November and ends around February. It brings cold, dusty, and dry weather, which is usually referred to as harmattan. So, the harmattan period experiences once in a year between November and February is usually brought about by the tropical continental air mass, which is also known as the northeast trade wind. Now, let's look at equatorial easterlies. The equatorial easterlies blows around the equator from the east. The northeast and the southwest trade wind meet along a surface which is called the intertropical front. The area above this front, that is of course the intertropical front, where the two air masses kind of mix due to the rubbing effect, is known as the intertropical convergence zone, ITCZ. And that is what we call dust devil. Dust devil is a whirling cyclical wind which carries dust and pieces of paper. Let us consider the land and the sea breezes. This is the fourth type of wind found in Nigeria. These types of winds are restricted to the coast of Lagos, Warri, and Port Harcourt, etc. They blow alternatively between land and sea on a daily basis. Sea breeze blows from the sea to the land, whereas a land breeze blows from the land to the sea. Now let's look at another element of weather that we talked about earlier as part of the Nigerian climate. Another one here is rainfall in Nigeria. Also, rainfall in Nigeria, just like the temperature, is not evenly distributed. That is to say, some areas in Nigeria have higher rainfall than some areas. And of course, there are some factors responsible for this non-uniformity of distribution of rainfall in Nigeria. Now, rainfall in Nigeria is higher in the south because of the proximity to the sea, and it is lower in the north. That's one factor that's responsible for the non-uniformity of rainfall distribution in Nigeria. Another is that rainfall in Nigeria decreases from the south towards the north, and it varies with season. During the rainy season, you expect higher rainfall than, of course, the dry season. And rainfall also varies in Nigeria with respect to altitude. Altitude here is the height. Now, there are seasons in Nigeria which we are going to look at also. One, we have the wet or the rainy season, which usually span from March to November. And during this period, we have heavy rainfall. And the prevailing wind during this period is a tropical maritime air mass. The second season in Nigeria is the dry season. And it spans from November to February. And this period is accompanied by harmattan. And the prevailing wind also during this period is a tropical continental air mass. There are types of climate in Nigeria. Now, one is the sub-equatorial climate. We'll look at the characteristics of the sub-equatorial climate in Nigeria. One, the sub-equatorial climate is found in Nigeria in areas like the Port Harcourt, Calabar, Warri, etc. It has heavy rainfall. It also has high temperature of about 27 degrees Celsius and has high humidity. The second climate in Nigeria is the tropical hinterland climate. And this climate is found in the forest areas like Ibadan, Akure, Ilorin, Enugu, etc. It has moderate rainfall, high temperature, over 27 degrees Celsius. Another type of climate is a tropical continental dry climate. It is also known as the Sudan climate, and it is found in Sokoto, Kano, Borno, etc. And there is little or no rainfall in such climate. It also has low relative humidity and high temperature throughout the year. And lastly, we have the high plateau climate. The high plateau climate is found in highland areas like Jos, Obudu, and Adamawa, etc. It is usually associated with heavy rainfall and has a moderate temperature and high relative humidity. Now, vegetation of Nigeria. The vegetation of Nigeria is grouped into the following zones. One, we have the forest zone or forest vegetation. Here are the characteristics of the forest zone of vegetation in Nigeria. The forest zone contains mainly trees. It has forest belt, namely a mangrove swamp, forest, and a freshwater swamp, and also the rainforest. The mangrove swamp forest consists of the salt and freshwater swamp. The savanna zone or savanna vegetation. This vegetation contains mainly grasses, and it is subdivided into the Guinea savanna, the Sudan savanna, the Sahel savanna. We will look at the characteristics of these three types of savannas later on. Now, the third vegetation zone in Nigeria is the montane vegetation. The montane vegetation is found in highland areas like Jos with trees and grasses.